Howdy folks, welcome back to the War Thunder Ground Forces test server. I'm jumping into realistic battles again, straight off the bat. This is the KV-85. It's a KV-1 with an upgraded turret and an 85mm gun. Essentially it's an under-armoured IS. Whereas the IS has 110mm of hull armour at the front, this has the KV's 75mm, but it's the IS turret and it's exactly the same gun as the IS as well. So yeah, you can't complain, it's an 85mm gun on a KV-1. Unfortunately, I think I'm rapidly coming to the conclusion that I have found the map in War Thunder Ground Forces that I hate with a passion, almost as much as I hate Kamar and El Haluf in World of Tanks, and it's this thing, Jungle. It's not that bad in arcade mode. In realistic, it's a pain in the arse, and in simulator mode this must be an absolute nightmare. And it's because the vegetation is so incredibly thick. You just cannot see what you're shooting at. And, you know, if you're fighting in a jungle, in tanks, combat ranges, due to limited visibility, should be very, very short. I get it, I do, that makes perfect sense. But is it any fun? That's a different question. Although, you know, again, to give Gaijin credit, they are trying to fill all ends of the spectrum up. Combat on this map is so claustrophobic, and that is going to be fun for a certain number of people. But then, of course, in sim battles, you've got the Kursk map, which I have yet to see. I keep queuing for simulator battles, and it keeps putting me on this freaking map. I have not seen the Kursk simulator battle yet. But from what I've heard, it's the exact opposite of this. Massive open ranges, long-range tank engagements all over the place. Can't wait, but the matchmaker just won't let me play. Definitely not a fan of this map, however. It's just too claustrophobic. For my taste, some people might really get a kick out of this. I am not one of them. But they do need to put this kind of map in. It's part of the whole testing process. Figure out what works and what doesn't. A map like this, I think, works very well in arcade. Because you've got aim assistance in arcade. So even if you can't see the enemy tank, these are AI, by the way, that's why these tiny little Panzer 2Fs are just driving right in front of me. But yes, in arcade, this map isn't that bad. Oh, I've been hit by something and it's jammed my turret, so I'm having to turn the tank in order to shoot that guy. This is the very first game I've played in the KV-85. So I don't have any spare parts researched, so when this thing gets damaged, it pretty much stays damaged. But anyway, back to the subject of maps. And I do get why maps like this are in the game. They have to figure out what maps work best in which modes. So you've got small maps like this one with very, very limited visibility. And then you've got huge maps like Kursk with wide open view ranges. And then other maps fill in the gaps in between. And that's exactly what the test process is here to do. It's to figure out which maps work best in which modes. And this map works fine in arcade because you do have that aiming assistance. Once your crew spot the enemy tank, bang, they're there on the map, you get the name, you get the armour penetration indicator when your gun is pointed at the target. Even if you cannot physically see the tank because there's vegetation in the way, you can still fight. Not so much in realistic, however. And it's an utter nightmare in simulator. Speaking from a personal perspective, your opinion may differ. The issue for me on this map, and the attraction for certain others playing this map in exactly the same circumstances, is that even when a tank is spotted by your crew, well, that Tiger, for example, silhouetted on the skyline, so shooting him, no problem. All I did was damage his tracks, but somebody else just killed him, so I got an assist out of it. But there's a Panzer IV up here as well. I know he's up here somewhere. My gun's damaged, so it's not... Oh, they called in artillery on me. I managed to avoid it just in time. My gun's damaged, so it's not incredibly accurate. I think my loader's dead, so it takes ages to reload. I know there's a Panzer IV up here somewhere, and you're going to see... There he is. Except I can't see him. Can you see the tank? I can't even see the tank. I'm aware that he's there because my crew have spotted him, but I cannot see that tank. And of course, if this was arcade, I would know if my gun sight was over him because it would change colour, but it's realistic, so it doesn't. Now, I managed to weather that shot. Unfortunately, my suspension is damaged, and now my engine is dead, or crippled, which means my gearing is gone, and I just can't move. This tank is just lurching around. It keeps putting these... You know, fair credit to the guy, he's choosing his shots with care. I wouldn't have hung around in front of my gun for as long as he did, but I think he's finally realised that I am stuffed. Luckily, another KV-85 comes to the rescue. However, this is my very first game in the KV-85. I do not yet have spare parts researched, and my tank is out of this game. At best, I can manage 4 kilometers per hour in a straight line, and it won't turn. It just won't turn at all. All the enemy team have left is that guy in the Focke-Wulf 190. So we either need to shoot him down, but we've got no flak tanks, or cap to win. But I can't turn the tank around. I can do 4 kilometers an hour forward. There's not enough power left in the engine to operate reverse gear. I am completely useless. 100% waste of time, me being in this game now, because the cap is behind me. So, oh well, enough of that. Let's try something else. It's Karelia in arcade mode, and I'm in the Russian GAZ-33 25mm anti-aircraft gun, and nobody on the enemy team is in an aircraft. They're all in Tigers, Panthers, KVs, ISs, and I have a 25mm gun. Well, shit. So, flak truck. On this map, complete waste of time. Nobody's flying aircraft. So I farmed a couple of kills of anti-aircraft guns, and then got blown away by a Tiger, and jumped into the KV-2, because KV-2 is how you spell fun in Russia. That 152mm gun. Oh, you've seen nothing yet. Just wait. So there's my first assist. I absolutely crippled that IS. Suspension, radiator, transmission, just everything. The blast from this 152mm shell, firing the high explosive rounds. By default, it does also come with anti-concrete rounds, which are bunker buster rounds. I've never used them yet. I'll have to give them a try to see what they're like. They do have good penetration. And the IS was just immobilised. The shot hit him. That's what I'm talking about. Right there. The KV-2's 152mm derp gun. It's the gift that just keeps on giving. That poor Panther didn't know what hit him. I think the only two things I didn't wreck on his tank were his machine gunner and the barrel of his gun. Everything else got knocked down. I love this tank. I actually think that the KV-2 in War Thunder is even more fun than the KV-2 in World of Tanks. And I never thought the day would come when anybody would hear me saying that. So that's my 5th kill, but it's my first proper kill. The first 4 kills I was just shooting up anti-aircraft guns in the GAZ-33 before a Tiger put me out of my misery. But that's my first proper tank kill and 1 assist, both against Panthers. And there's plenty more where those guys came from. So this is the first time I've played the KV2 in this version of the test server. I have played the KV2 in War Thunder before, but it was a while back. I have a video up of it. It's just as much fun on the current build of War Thunder Ground Forces as it was the last time I played it, but first time I've played it on this version of the test server, so this is a completely stock KV2. Really, really slow turret traverse, very, very slow hull traverse, very slow reload on the gun, all that good stuff. Now, probably my single biggest issue, and it's something that is very easily fixed. You see, I'm turning the turret of the tank around because I've just noticed, and it's very hard to spot on the map because the icons are so tiny, that an enemy tank was spotted to my right, and I keep looking over there because we can't see him. But there, did you see that? Gun smoke. He just fired his gun. There he is. And I like the fact that even though the tank is not illuminated, the map will update with the last known position. And even though nobody can actually see the tank or is in a position to spot him, stuff that the tank does is visible if you're looking in the right direction. For example, the smoke from the gun barrel when he fires his gun. Now he's been taken out by somebody else. Firing alerted other tanks to his position and got him knocked out. But I do still think they could do better with the minimap. There's some good stuff going on the minimap. Last known location of spotted enemy tanks, for example. That's something that if you want to see in World of Tanks, you have to download a mod for. It's there by default, built into the game at the moment in War Thunder, but it's rendered almost useless by the fact that the icons are so small and hard to see. Even the position of your own tank is not very distinct. I've got no doubt that the minimap is something that they are working on, but it does need work. It leaves a lot to be desired at the moment. Regardless of the fact that they do have some new features on it, those features aren't much use if you can't actually make them out at a glance. And that, certainly for me anyway, is the situation with the minimap. I spend far too long trying to figure out where I am on the map and where everything else is in relation to me. The information on the minimap should be something that you can just take in at a glance and then get back to scanning around your tank, looking for threats. At the moment, not so much. Now, I would love to be able to blame my current situation on the deficiencies of the minimap. I am actually sitting in the wrong cap circle. On this version of the Corellia map, the cap is actually in the middle of the map. No, it wasn't the fault of the minimap, it was my fault because I am crap. And I haven't realised it yet. I think I'm actually sitting here in the cap circle and wondering why the ticket counter isn't changing. And sooner or later it's going to dawn on me that I'm actually in the wrong place. And of course, when the realisation does sink in, it's far too late for me to do anything about it. I'm trapped in this position with enemy tanks closing in from two different sides. But I'm in a KV2. So, you know, come at me, bro. Come and have a go if you think you're hard enough. And there's plenty of them. So, yeah, around about now I have realised that I am actually in the wrong place. But there's a Panzer IV-H over there. And this was kind of disappointing. I mean, it didn't kill him. Did knock out his suspension and his gun though, so yeah, there's that. He's not alone over there, however. And I am very conscious of the fact that up in front of me there was, I think it was a Panther, and he could be working his way around onto my flank. So I roll back behind this bunker and I wait to reload and see if anybody's paying any attention to me. Now they're probably going to be pre-aimed on that corner, so instead I go around the other side. And there's an IS. And yeah, I'm sure he probably wasn't using his cannon barrel, his cannon breech, his suspension, his horizontal turret drive. And now he's dead too, so there's another assist. Still plenty of tanks up there, though. That's basically where they're spawning from. So even though I'm not, you know, doing anything directly useful, I am preventing enemy reinforcements from getting up to the cap circle. And we reload. And we poke out. And there's a Panzer IV, a Tiger, and an IS. Alright. Who wants some? God, I love this tank. But that Tiger, he's barely 100 metres away and he's heading right at me. I definitely seem to have rustled his jimmy somehow. He's determined to get himself a piece of Jingles. But I have friends. That's what you get when you tunnel vision. This game is a bit of a surprise. Notice how my cannon barrel is elevating when I come around that corner because there's an obstacle in the way. It's taken me forever to get this gun down. Obviously, no upgrades on this tank. But yeah, that'll do. See, it does it again. I suppose it makes sense, but as long as you bear in mind that if you come around a corner of an obstacle like that bunker and you're trying to fire into the corner, that when you clear the obstacle, your gun barrel is going to be pointing in the air and it's going to take you time to get it down on the target. And that's going to leave you vulnerable for a couple of seconds. But I'm going to swap corners again here. Unfortunately, I'm not nearly as sneaky and clever as I thought I was, because that Tiger was waiting for me, and he is faster on the trigger than I am. He's knocked out my driver and my suspension. I'm stuck here. And I can't fire the gun. I don't know why I can't fire the gun. Now, as it happens, there we go, he's been knocked out. There's an IS over on my right flank who's taking advantage of me sitting here, taking these hits and spotting these enemy tanks coming out of the cap circle to just clean them up. And he's going to do it again and again and again. There's another one. Hits me again. And I still can't fire the gun. I can't move, I can't defend myself. I'm just sitting here taking hit after hit after hit. Now, with the benefit of hindsight, bottom left of the screen there's a little paper doll tank indicator, and it's showing me a black gun barrel. But at the time, again, it's one of those things like the minimap. Lack of feedback to the player on what's going on with his tank. The text messages that popped up only told me that my suspension and my driver had been knocked out. Didn't mention the gun. And that little paper doll down in the bottom left of the screen is nowhere near distinct enough to tell you what's going on with your tank. It needs to be a lot clearer than it is. Lack of feedback to the player on what's going on with his tank. Whether that be on the minimap, or the text messages that you get, or the little paper doll in the bottom left, it's just not clear enough. However, standard disclaimers apply. Everything that you see here is a work in progress, and I do know that feedback to the player during battle is one of the subjects that they are working on, so I do expect to see that improve. Meanwhile, now that I actually know which cap I'm supposed to be driving towards, I've jumped into a tank that hopefully should be quick enough, even though we've all but lost. Look at the ticket counter going down. They've completely captured the A point. And there's an IS over there. Unfortunately, I haven't played this map enough to know the best routes to and from the various different locations. And where the rocks are. Oh, Jingles, you so silly. Now, he's got an 85mm gun. I've got an 85mm gun, and he's shooting at somebody who isn't me, so, you know, that's my favourite kind of circumstance. Come on. Yes! Got him. There's another one up there, somewhere. I should have reloaded by the time I get around this corner, with any luck. Of course, my most immediate problem is that I'm driving up here, hoping, not knowing, that this is the way into the cap. Now, where is that T-3485? Oh, shit, there he is. Surprise, it's me. That'll be an ammo rack then. Oh, man. Now, up here and left should be the way into... Oh, shit, Jingles, check your right, check your right, check your right. No, your other right. Oh, well, never mind. Plenty more tanks where that one came from. It's arcade, after all. Of course, having plenty more tanks to choose from and having the time to actually do something with them are two entirely different things. Now, I've spawned on the other side, and that's just confused me, because I don't know how to get into the cap from here. I mean, I've got a rough idea. Down here, turn right. And that should get me there. But I'm going to have to be quick about it. We can still win this, we just have to get in there and kill the enemy tanks in the cap. We've got a good team. I mean, we've got people who are getting 10 kills. Of course, so do they. Oh, he's taken fire from somewhere. Looks like... there we go. Enemy tank, enemy tank, enemy tank. Kill it, kill it, kill it with fire. No, kill it. Don't just... Oh, shit. Who's going to reload first? Me or him? Hopefully it's me. Yes, got him. Unfortunately, I am stuck here. I'm repairing my tracks. And that SU-85 is burning, so that's not good. That's one of them in the cap dealt with. Ah, shit, taking fire from behind. Oh, no. And I'm stuck again. So close. There's the cap circle right there. Shit. Got him. Unfortunately, he has friends. Lots of them. Oh, and I just can't move the tank. And there's one in front of me as well. God damn it. So close. But close doesn't win. But we can still do this. We've just got to get into the cap. So T-3485 again, because it's quick. And it's got a great gun. And instead of turning right and going up around the cap, I'm going to get my bearings, and this time I'm going to approach it from the correct side. Enemy tanks in the spawn over there, not my problem. Enemy tanks in the cap are my problem. And this is the way I should have come, you know, the first time. And there's a Panther down there. It's like 100 meters in front of me. And watch how quickly this tank catches up. And yeah, they're going to be up there waiting for us. And yeah, the first tank that crests the ridge is going to be hit. But not cresting the ridge is going to lose us the game. Somebody's got to grow a pair of balls and go up there. It's clearly not going to be the Panther. So, fine, I'll do it. But take advantage of this. There's a Panther waiting for me. He takes out my ammo rack. Are you going to get up there and shoot him? Come on, come on, I died to give you a chance to get up there. Yes, he's made it. He's going for it. Good man. And I could jump into another tank, but there isn't time. The enemy team have won this one, and it was a hell of a game. Two very, very closely matched teams. So much fun to play. And it's coming along leaps and bounds since the first War Thunder Ground Forces video that I put up. The tanks feel like... they certainly didn't at first. It felt like it was tanks on ice. The way the suspension and the ground resistance interacted with the terrain when I first started playing on the test server was pretty comical. If you have a look at my earliest videos, you'll see what I'm talking about. But they've definitely... there we go, we've lost. And you know what? I don't mind. I really don't mind, because it was a hell of a game. Immense fun to play. And I do think that if they keep working at it the way they have been, this is going to be a winner. I think it's going to be very, very hard, based on the current state of play, which is still subject to change. But even based on the current state of play, they're onto a winner here. This is so much fun. And yeah, look at that. Look at the kills. Two good teams, but the best team won. They played the objective, they went for the cap. And of course, that's exactly as it should be, so no complaints there. My only real issues with the current state of the game is the lack of feedback. The lack of in-game feedback to you on the situation with your own tank. The minimap, the icons on the minimap are nowhere near as clear as they need to be. The paper doll showing the damage to your tank needs to be a lot clearer. But these are issues that, from reading the forum, they are aware of and they're working on. And I do expect, and those are really my only two major sources of disappointment with the current state of the game, and they've promised to work on that, so it's all good. Very, very excited about this game, and I can't wait for it to go into open beta, as I'm sure those of you who haven't managed to get onto the test server are all waiting for this thing to come out into open beta as well. So that was my day on War Thunder Ground Forces on the test server. Hope you enjoyed the video. As always, folks, take care, and I'll catch you next time.